Come on! I knew it was coming. Okay, this is the beauty of this kind of song. Welcome back, and thank you for joining me for another reaction video. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe and turn on those notifications and you're good to go. We're back with more Dir En Grey, and I'm super excited because on my first listen to them, I wasn't completely sold, but I have a lot of people telling me that they're capable of a whole lot more, so I can't wait to see it. The next most popular request was a song called Vinushka. We're going to dive straight into that one. It is another live one. I do like the live stuff, and they're quite arty, so the live element I think helps them in a way, and at least helps me understand more of what they're trying to convey. So without further ado, Dir En Grey, Vinushka. Let's see what you got. Oh, hang on a second. What an arty start to the song. Shouldn't expect anything less from these guys. It is very visual based, like kind of performance art is the only way to explain it. But musically, quite cool. I always recommend you listen to music videos, live performances with headphones, because you get a lot of nice editing tricks and hacks that they throw into the mix. So here they've got that guitar panned all the way to the left, and it sounds quite springy, a little tinny, and it's purposeful. It's meant to be kind of devoid of all bass and power, because that's going to kick in, and as you heard the kick drum coming in on that offbeat, it started providing that kind of power and accent to the music. His voice was just hovering in the middle, not saying any real words or anything, just more sounds and phrases, but it was quite nice, quite peaceful. Put you in a bit of a trance. So when that kick came in, it was a bit of a shock to the system, and I can hear them building, so I want to see where this goes. But interesting start. They intrigue me. Nice delay. Okay, this is rad, because it's kind of broken the norm of what it was, the norm. I like when he plays with his voice like that. It's not necessarily, anything magical or overly intricate, but it's this nice atmospheric layer that he adds. And it's kind of something unique. It's obviously a signature of theirs, and it's different to what other bands do, and I like that. The piece that you're hearing now is nice because the drummer's playing, in essence, a kind of repeatable beat, but he's doing a lot of hard work to make sure that it doesn't sound like that he's trying to roll around, find ways to accent parts of the guitar work and make it seem like it's still building. We're almost a minute in. It is a long song. I think it's over 9 minutes, so they have that luxury. They can build over a long period of time, but with these guys, I have a feeling that structure is not something they stick to the norm with. He does have a lot of range, you can say that, because he was going from that kind of low, almost mumbly kind of singing where it's meant to be. It is very over the top and theatrical, and I think that's something I wasn't prepared for when I first listened to them. I didn't expect it to be quite the visual and vocal theatrics that I'm seeing, so it threw me off a bit, and that's probably why I didn't buy in as hard as I could have in the first listen. I'm still getting to grasps with it, but I'm more prepared now, and I think that has helped a lot. Nice transition there. So again, the drummer going back to that part where he's working hard to make it not sound like a familiar beat, and then all of a sudden into that nice tom roll and in with the snare accent, and it almost sounds like that's the loop back into the beginning again. So there is a nice kind of relationship between the drums and guitar at this point. Bass just doing kind of backup work at the moment. Again, still feels like it's building. Minute 40 in. I'm very interested in this. You can hear the secondary guitar coming into the left there. I'll go back, hopefully it's enough that you can hear it, but whenever you have two pieces that are basically picked clean pieces, you can actually hear those notes really clearly. There's no blend because of the distortion. However, there is an overlap on certain phrases because of the harmonies that meet up in the middle of certain picked pieces, right? So you'll hear that standard guitar that we heard in the beginning in the left, and you're going to hear something coming in the right, and it is pushed quite far apart. So it's not when you pan stuff, you don't have to pan it all the way to the left or to the right, and I don't know if it is 100%, but it definitely sounds that way. You can normally do it sort of 50-50, or you can do it 60-40. You can choose whatever percentage you want, but to have them pushed so far apart does allow for the vocals to come straight through the middle with no resistance, and the vocals are clearly a standout feature of this band, so that makes sense. So it's quite a smart kind of placement of everything. Nice bass line. So if you want to build up music but you don't want to change what you're doing with the melody of the guitar work, you can do it obviously through the vocals, the intensity. You can do it through the drums. You can start to do more rolls, or you can take the intensity back or lift it, even pressure hitting. And then you can also do it with the bass, and the bass started doing something which is quite a cyclic run, almost again puts you in a trance. It's that dun 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 dun, and it's almost like a ladder run, so he keeps going up and down, and I think it's very cool. I'll go back one more just to make sure we hear it properly, but this is very interesting. This is like, for me, like I said, music is art, and there's no right or wrong, but trying to decipher how they put this all together is very fun for me. I love how that pattern changed, that 1 2 3 2 2 3 3 3. It became like a bit of like a dance, like a waltz, as opposed to their standard 4/4 they were playing earlier. I do think it's quite nice though. There's something romantic about what they're doing, and in a way his vocals have actually settled with me now. It has taken a bit of time in the song, but his theatrics and he's playing with the notes and the way that he does it makes me actually quite comfortable now. It doesn't seem jarring, it doesn't seem to stand out. I think it just like anything, if you've ever gotten into your car after being out the night before and put the radio on, the volume super loud, but at that time it sounded fine, the volume didn't bother you. It's because your ears do adjust and find a way to place and settle things, and that's what's happening to me right now with these vocals. Come on now. I keep waiting for this song to break, and it keeps tricking me. It keeps building up to a place where I think it's going to explode with just power, a heavy riff, solid beat, maybe a more aggressive vocal, but it's not happening. And I'm not mad at that. Again, the luxury of a long song having time to build, but it is very cool, especially there where the bass started pulling back a bit, doing more staccato, very quick little hits to accent. Guitar started doing just a really nice distorted lead work piece, which made it feel like the intensity was building and building. And now we've gone into and you had that kind of spoken word piece there in the middle, more like poetry, and then it's dipped off now completely, and all you have is the drums. And it bothers me that I can't place this. Come on! I knew it was coming. Okay, this is the beauty of this kind of song. 4.5 minutes in before it broke, and it's been keeping me waiting on the edge of my seat. I felt uncomfortable, I felt comfortable, I felt anxious. I just needed it to break, and it just did. That's kind of masterful in its own right. I think for them to take a song, again, that's this long, and use so much of it to create atmosphere and tension and a setup for that kind of punchline, that's pretty smart, and it's quite brave as well. I say brave, but I would imagine that these guys don't care much for what people think, and they just want to do what they love. So, oh, come on now. Love the vocal on this now. He's gone from complete, almost making it sound like it's an effort to push air out. Very lazy, purposeful, lazy vocals. And sometimes not even words, just phrases and sounds, into this aggressive growl where you could see his whole body posture changed. He's much more shoulders rolled in, mic nice and close, low growls, closed mouth sound. Drummer's doing really good work there because it's not easy, it's pretty quick. It's a little bit like a punk beat, but it's got a nice gallop on certain parts, and that gallop is shining through a little bit harder because of what the guitar's doing. It's not trying to overemphasize that, it's trying to keep the tempo and the intensity, but it's trying to be its own instrument, and that's nice. Hang on. Wow. Okay. I'm very much into this now. There's a lot of there's definitely segments and pieces to the song. You could break it up, and again, it's the kind of song where they could have taken parts of this and made 4 other songs if they wanted to, but that would be lazy, and they aren't lazy. Just as I mentioned those low growls, all of a sudden back goes up a little bit, mic goes a little bit further away, open mouth vowel sound, and out come the high-pitched growls and screams, because he can, and why wouldn't he? He's kind of cool. I also think I'm starting to get it, and I think it's because I don't get it. Wow, there's a lot to say in this song. Very like little proggy bit over there, nice time signature changes, cutting bars really short, then extending others. And then it went into that kind of march tempo where all the instruments aligned to kind of do one thing and accent one certain part, and that was that dun 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 dun, marching along. And all of a sudden, from that into those really low growls again. There's a lot of fluctuation here, and there should be, because they spend so much time setting it up. They should be allowed to do what they want. There's still so much left of this song. It's going to be a long one. And I don't want to say it, but pack a lunch. He is so commanding. This audience is just in the palm of his hand, and they should be. He can sing. So I kind of said earlier, I don't know if he can sing or not. I'm not 100% sure if he's a great singer or not a great singer. It's because there were moments of brilliance and moments of what the hell. He can sing. He's a very good singer. He's just choosing to be overly arty and theatrical, and that isn't something that normally resonates with me. I'm liking this though. When he puts his hands up and the crowd goes completely bananas, nothing's changed with the music. That's just a physical performance piece. They are so fixated on him that he kind of owns this moment. He's good. That's a frontman. I do want to say this quickly because I know people will be probably screaming out in the comments for this. I am reading the lyrics. I am looking at the visuals, and the immense importance of the message and the theme of this is not lost on me. It's just not something I usually comment on. It is, however, adding to the emotional experience of what I'm watching. So I am seeing it. See, See there, he's choosing to pick notes that actually start drifting out of tune, and it may just be because of the live stuff, but I have a feeling that as long as he sits in that pocket for at least a variation of it, he can drift in and out, because that's the art element, the interpretation. And ordinarily you would be able to look at that and go, well, that's starting to drift out of tune there, but he didn't have to do that, but he's doing it on purpose. He's tweaking and manipulating, because a lot of the emotive essence of this song is coming from not just the words and the vocals, but the way that he manipulates the pain and emotion in it. Almost silly and childlike at times, but important. This back and forth between the quick punk beats and the slower, more proggy bit, it's important because it's the accumulation of 8.5 minutes of work. It's starting to take things that were separated by moments of a lack of intensity, and it's throwing them all together. It's very much a journey, the music behind this, and I like it. Okay, Dir En Grey, I get you. Yes, I'm much more on board. It still isn't something I'm fully comfortable with, but I'm very much more on board with these guys. Interesting, I started to recognize something there, and I may be overthinking this, but just as I started to mention the kind of accumulation of all that music coming together, it sounds like they deconstructed the song. And what I mean by that is they took all the phrases and the way they built up and they reversed them. Because to my if my memory is correct, to have that piece where they were alternating between the more like proggy bit and the punk bit, it then went down to the snare accent, back to that roll. It ended quite sharply, so it didn't start with the same. It didn't end with the same softness it started with. But it seemed like if you focused on the drums, at least, that it was a deconstruction of how they built up. And if it is, that's very, very cool. Big fan of this. I think that that's a great song. It took me a while to get into. I think they're one of those bands I'm going to struggle with, but I like the struggle. I want to figure them out, but I don't think they'll let me, and that's part of the charm. There are moments of that song that I absolutely love, and there are moments that still make me very uncomfortable. Some of it has to do with the vocals, some of it has to do with the structure. But I always say this, music should make you feel something. If you're not feeling something, the music's not doing its job. So job done there, and I am very much back on board with these guys. I need more of it. I definitely need more of it. I want more of it. And I think that's the beauty of discovering new bands and forcing yourself to appreciate the hidden Easter eggs and talent in what they're doing, and not trying to just listen to it on face value, because that's also something that can kind of put up a wall for you. Glad I'm sticking with these guys, because that was a nice experience. Well, it was an experience. And yeah, I really like it. Let me know where to go next. Until then, please be safe, be nice to each other, and have a damn good day.